personally, man, the song never gets old. If you can hear me, if you can see me, that can only mean one thing. It's another week of Our Opinion Podcast. You know, the podcast to talk about everything you talk about without your opinion. Yeah, that's us, man. I'm voice one.
Hey, yo, I'm voice two.
Hey, listen, I got some special guests here. But before we dive into that, I want to take care of the politics, and I'm going to get to my guy to say it. Here it is. First of all, shout out and thank you to I Believe. Man, I Believe is a lifestyle brand for anybody that believes in something greater than themselves. Problem is, you walk around meandering in life, thinking small. I need you to think a little bit bigger. Shout out and thank you to Autumn Fresh Cleaning Services. Where cleaning has a feel to it for all your essential needs, your commercial needs. Holler at them, holler at me. Holler at us, man. Hey, I got a guy to say it. What's a guy to say it? When something needs to be said, you won't say it. So I got to say it. Here it is. I grew up on the east side of Detroit on 7 Mile and Mile. Shout out to Gable. Nigga, I have never in my life stopped at 7 Mile and Van Dyke at that gas station. If you do, I am scared of you. If I ran out of gas in front of that gas station, I'll walk a mile.
Yeah.
Risk my car getting stolen before I ever go to that gas station. So shout out to the brave souls that pumped their gas on pump 5 at 7 Mile and Van Dyke. Wow. Nigga, it would never be me. All right.
Yeah, it's not even, the funny thing, it's not even like a villain or a crook. I'm scared of the crackhead. it's a different type of,
straight,
it's a different type of version
I'm
of
scared
them,
of
bro.
everything, bro.
Yeah.
And I may know 5 niggas there.
Yeah,
and I'm straight. If I run out of gas for there, I just catch an Uber home as I'm walking. Hey man, meet me at down the street, man.
Get on the bus. It's right there. The bus stop is right there.
Yeah, I'm not pumping my gas there, man.
You can have to drop the keys off in there.
Every time I ride by there, in my mind, I think that people walk in and say, man, let me get a gallon on pump 3. You got to go quick.
No, I got to go quick. No, ain't no sitting around.
I'm not trying to be there.
I'm not even popping the whole gallon.
Yeah, I'm not putting 20 on pump 9.
I just need enough to get to 8 miles.
Enough to get to the crib. That's it, bro. I'm straight, man. Hey, man, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. I invited some men that I trust, that I deem as a friend, to kind of just have a barbershop series. The only thing is, this is appointment only. So if you don't got an appointment, man, you're not welcome, man. I want to welcome and shout out and thank you to James C. Hayes, man, who I deem as a mentor, a friend of mine, who damn near raised me. He practically raised me too. A friend of mine, man, who I respect, and I think he was my Sunday school teacher too. Keno Royal, man. I welcome, man. What's up, fellas?
Man.
How y'all feel?
Good to be here.
Man,
good to be here.
I appreciate y'all, man.
Proud of you, young dude, for what you doing here, man.
I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. I think I told both of y'all, but I said this is my only way to give my flowers back to y'all. To kind of say, hey, man, here's what you kind of poured into. So here I am. You know what I mean?
So, that's a proud moment too. You look back and be like, the one you took care of.
Yeah, man.
Smile every time he hit me up, man. I have to smile. Like, no, dude, man, that's big.
I don't take it for granted, which I'm gonna dive into later. But I never take it for granted, man. That you're one of the people, and I mean this respectfully, that I never would have thought that even gave it down. Right? It's like, why he even answer the phone? Why he even double back and check on me? But I'm gonna get into that though. I want to dive into what we call here an hourglass moment. Which is essentially just like a hot topic icebreaker, if you will.
Let's do it.
Pete, can I see that picture, please? Now, we all seen this movie. I seen this post on Facebook. Now, the caption says, this nigga was a effing loser. Here's why that struck a nerve for me.
Okay.
This is the daddy in Crooklyn. What I seen as a kid was a daddy he was a musician. Entrepreneur, if you will, struggling. You know, we know how the music business go. Trying to get gigs, but he was a present daddy. I just think that's crazy to call a present father, a willing father, a loser. And I just wanted to know, kind of ice break, what y'all think about that?
Man, so the only thing that I can even remember about that movie is the fact that they came to cut the lights off, and dude was like, I paid that already. And I paid
lied.
that. Yeah, he was saying I paid that. Told the kids to go in the house and said, man, go ahead and do what you got to do. He left.
Yeah.
And that right there, that stood out to me because it's like, all right, man, number one, how could you leave? Can't pay the bill, you can't pay the bill. It
Yeah.
happens sometimes.
Yeah.
I get it. But man, you gonna dip, you going to where they got lights, but then you gonna leave your family where there are no lights.
Yeah.
So
Now-
that kind of stood out to me. That was the only thing that I really can remember.
It's
about
funny
that
you say that though. I like the difference, the perspective, right? Didn't they argue prior to that?
I don't remember.
And honestly, I don't remember. Like
I
I
think-
said, man. So that scene really stood out.
No,
to me,
that's
bro.
tough though,
Other
because
than
I didn't even consider that though.
So when he left, did he go to play?
he got in the car and dipped.
I don't know
That's
where he
all I
went.
remember.
Yeah, I don't know where he went. We don't know where he went.
'Cause-
If I'm not mistaken, I think they got into an argument about the lights prior to that.
Yeah.
So I took it as like, man, do what you got to do. I already knew this was coming, but nigga, I'm not staying here. It's already tension. That's how I
That's how you
looked at
took
that.
it.
So I don't even remember a lot of this, but didn't y'all say that he told the kids or said in front of the kids and the family, I already paid that?
Yeah, I took care of that.
So here's what I see. He lied, but he's tried to say face in front of them.
pride.
Pride, but yet, man, the way our children and our families, well, wives are different. They kind of know the integral details, right? But our children, the way they see us, man,
Me and
without
you
me
mean.
saying Superman, but they see us as,
Yeah.
man, dad is everything,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I hear, hey, I paid that. I paid that already. Dad took care of business. Y'all go in the room, right? Protecting image. I don't need them to hear this.
Yeah.
This grown folk stuff. Do what you got to do. I ain't mad at you, player.
Yeah.
Because what if he left to go play? That's his
to make
gig.
some money to
make
pay
some
the-
Make
money.
money.
to pay the bill.
I don't know. This
don't
is
need
just things I'm trying to put in the pot
Yeah,
for us to
Yeah.
cook.
Yeah.
But he might not win. He probably went to his. I don't know where.
Right.
I don't know. I didn't.
That's what
It's
I'm
what.
saying. I don't recall. but
What's
I just-
shocking
that-
is that I didn't even consider that scene. The B clause of that scene is the A clause was lights got cut off.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right,
B clause was, nigga, I'm gone.
Yeah.
I didn't even because in my mind again as a kid, this movie came out when I'm a
So a long
'90s
time ago.
kid, so
It's
I
like the
grew
80s.
I grew up with the movie. You know what I'm saying? So as a kid, I'm watching like again. I used the P word, present. He was a present father.
It came out in the 90s, I want to say.
I thought it was like late 80s.
I gotta look it up
been
now.
I could be wrong though.
Yeah, I think 90s.
Yeah, I could be
early
wrong.
90s.
But what do you
Y'all
think about
probably
that
have a
statement
more
though?
so-
94. I was born
Yeah,
91.
early 90s.
So I
I was
grew
born
up
in
with
90,
the movie.
yeah.
You did.
The funny that's the scenario I was gonna bring up.
Oh wow, the
Yeah,
light situation.
him leaving, because that's something that always stuck out to me. To where it's like you said, to where it's, even if they got into an argument before, this new news changes everything.
Yeah,
To where it's like you can't leave your kids like that,
yeah.
or take them with you, or find a way to make it work and then go.
So
And that's more so coming up from my upbringing, from a mother that made things happen.
Yeah.
Where now I don't know that the lights is off. Hey, we gonna have a candle light.
yeah.
Man.
So
But he
now
ended up doing
we
that
get
later
all
on.
the candles and flashlights, and then
Man.
now we're gonna make an event out of this bad situation. Instead of, again, you gonna protect your pride, but then you also you leave them empty handed, and it's
Did
like
you say they did it? Did he end up doing that later?
He did. Later on, they were sitting. He ended up putting candles all the way up because they were in the duplex.
yeah.
He put candles all through the upstairs, and the guy downstairs didn't even know the lights was off.
Yeah.
Because I lived in a situation like that where I lived upstairs. I pay for the water, they control the lights. So he didn't even know. He like, nigga, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Right.
But he made it happen.
So we talking about mental health,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the director in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
He gets the. Well, let me back up. They're arguing about the lights, which seems like, and again,
Bills. They were talking about bills.
So it sounds like this is probably not something new. It's probably norm,
True.
Okay.
noise,
Right.
arguing, and after a while, depends on the man. What is good accountability from your spouse, your partner, ends up becoming nagging. Depends on who he is.
Yeah.
True.
Right. The situation comes to light. It happens. Lights are out. His brain. We just argue about bills. These lights is out. I already know what's about to go down.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
So which was
Remove
Right.
myself.
That's
That's
number one.
that's how I looked at
Because I
it.
know we about to argue.
That's how I looked at it.
I don't want to say the wrong thing, and at this point, whatever I say might be the wrong. I'm just thinking about the man, right? He leaves. Your point, holding him accountable. Man, why you leave? This is a viewpoint. Some men don't know how to handle it, so they leave.
So I move, yeah.
Whatever transpires from them leaving to coming back, and the movie backs me up because he ends up doing what you say he should have did in the first place. It just takes him longer to get to the point. I should have stayed in the first place. But some people don't have the capacity or the tools, the skill set, should I say, to handle that or maneuver in that moment. So he leaves. I don't remember what happened in the movie, so I'm gonna have to go watch this movie.
Man, it's funny.
Right? I'm about to go dissect this movie.
I gotta watch the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
But see, here's why I icebreaker, right? Because where I want to drive to, right, is the idea that sometimes the how is trumped by the expectation. Nigga, I don't know how to do this, how to figure this out, but that's overshadowed by what you expect of me
to do.
because I'm a man. And to me, I think that there is a state of emergency for the art of a man in today's world. Like, we are losing ourselves in expectation. So reality and the how or the lack thereof is overshadowed because we try to live up to expectation. That goes from dating to parenting to just being a man.
I don't necessarily I don't shy away from that challenge either, though. Because I also I believe that your manhood is not solidified until you are dealt with a difficult situation, like how you handle it. You got people that handle situations like boys, but then you handle it like a man. And again, like in that situation, granted, he came back and did the right thing, quote unquote. However, in that situation, one thing that I also try and teach my sons is a lot of times in life, you don't get a second chance to do the right thing. You have this moment. Capitalize on this moment. Because for the most part, you don't get another window.
So before I have a rebuttal question for that, but before I ask you that, I'll let you cook.
Just wanted to ask about the expectations. You said that. So who's setting the expectations?
I was about to say definitions is
important. So naturally, the world, right? The people, whether I approve, agree, or indifferent, it's there. Is what I'm saying, and some of it is based off obviously my experience, right? But also what I see. I think that a lot of men try to live up to the expectation. Like, man, I want to do this, but I'm going to lose this, that, and the third if I don't live up to the hype of this. So I'm going to chase the expectation. You know what I mean? And then to your point, which kind of goes into the same thing, I think, which is perfectly fine, your response is based off what you've experienced. I don't associate one hard intention as a failure. I gave the greatest intention one hard time, bro, and it didn't work. So I may not get a second chance, but nigga, I gave it a great intention this first time. So be it. That just is what it is. I'm not less of a man. I'm not more of a man. I figure out the how as I go.
And two,
you know what I mean?
Two can be right at the same time.
I agree with that too.
And some people don't know that, but both can be right at the same time. Same way I teach my son, the same way that you got the moment. We got to seize the moment.
Yeah.
And you might fail.
Yeah.
It's the way we perceive it. It's the way we look
But
at
be
it.
intentional
right?
in your
and
one
be
try.
Intentional
because you may not get it back.
Both of them are
correct. Yeah.
So simultaneously, man, we are teaching so many different things of I'm teaching you this. This might happen as well. So I'm teaching character, but then I'm also teaching you bounce back.
True.
Because bounce back is, hey, you didn't seize the moment. Right. However, son, man, it's a new day.
Because I have two boys. I don't raise my boys with a gender-based mentality.
What do you mean by that?
Because
people who listen.
Specify, dude.
I will. Because you're a boy, you gotta do this. Because you're a boy, you can't feel that. No, nigga. You fall off the bike, you hurt your knee. Come here, man. What's up? How you feel? Where it hurt? Cry, that's cool. Now because we're men, we'll walk it off. Not because you're a man, you can't cry. I think a lot of a lot of generations, obviously before me, right, they raised us with the idea because he's a boy, I expect for him to respond a certain way.
Yeah.
And to me, that is so dangerous, and it has no room in this day and time.
It's incorrect, but so it's like that phase of I don't know if y'all ever heard this, but there was this recipe of passing down. Hey, you always cut your hen or cut your turkey in half.
I never heard
That's how
that.
you cook it, and you cook it in your oven. And then as years goes by, people, this generation start questioning, like, why am I cutting the bird in half, or cutting the hen in half, or cutting the turkey in half? Come to find out, back in the day, their ovens was too small. So they had to cut what they were preparing in order for the oven to fit the house.
Yeah.
Now we have ovens that fit the whole bird.
Big enough.
I don't have to cut. Okay, same analogy of things that have been passed down to us. Put grease on a burnt situation, right? That ain't healthy. It worked, and because it worked back in the day, we pass it on and say it's golden. That's what you should do. But however, there's many things, many approaches, and we find out that some things we did because we had to, but it don't mean that it was healthy.
Right.
Okay, so I go back to this Crooklyn guy. Again, it was a movie, but as a director, I teach what's in your bag, meaning the character bag. You're a character, you're a man, but create your character. Where did he come from? Where did he go through? Most likely, his father taught him how you deal with stuff.
Yeah.
Walk away. Don't cry. Blah, blah, blah. Which is why, to me, definitions are important, from relationships to anything. What's your definition of dating, or what's your definition of love? Or we need to make sure our definitions line up, because if not, my viewpoint is different than yours. And the world, man, is just giving some crazy definition on manhood, right?
And which is why it brings us here, right? Because I feel as if though how I'm an emotional man, right? So watch this though.
You were made to be.
Exactly. I'll always say, I probably heard me say it before, nigga, if I was a superhero, wouldn't be no need for Jesus. I wasn't made to be no superhero. I wouldn't need Christ. If that was the case, I just so happen to be wrapped into a man's body. So the expectation is a little greater, right? But so oftentimes when I say I'm an emotional man, guess what they say? Oh, nigga, soft. No, I don't mind telling you, hey, bro, today I don't feel like talking to nobody. Nigga, I want to cry today. I ain't in the mood. I'm just here because I got to clock in and get a paycheck. I don't mind telling you that. I don't mind also walking in and be like, man, yeah, she hurt me, bro. I don't know how to bounce back. I don't raise my boys that way, though. I don't raise them to dwell in those spaces, but I raise them to identify those spaces and take as much time as you see fit. However, there are ways to maneuver within that space, though. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, question: were we not given the same emotions as a female? Is there a difference in the emotions that the Lord gave the woman than He gave a man? It might be a difference of the showing and how it comes out.
No difference.
But we were given the same emotions.
Absolutely.
True.
Now, here's the tough part. We're talking about this whole world thing. It's who you prescribe to.
Okay.
Our definition comes from Christ.
That's us. Setting the expectation.
Yeah.
Their definition comes from whoever is setting the new definition. Whatever they listen to, whatever the standard is, whatever social media is, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That is the danger. Listen to me. Emotions is an attribute of what the Lord is. Yeah. And I know they don't want to hear this, man, but here it is. True. Man, real talk, street talk, and Bible is the same to me. They're not separate.
No difference.
Because if you really, really read it, everything, you going through, and gonna go through. Man, it's in their book.
That's why we got 9 different interpretations of the Bible, because you got it has to be interpreted.
Listen to me.
The language got to be different. I can't talk to a 12-year-old the same way I talk to my 6-year-old.
You have to tap into your emotion, and men that are walking around here and not being able to have the ability to tap into your emotion, it's just like having a new car. These what are they called? Satellite car? Not satellite cars.
Electric.
Yeah, but it's something else. I just heard this.
Autonomous?
I just heard the
Autonomous.
word yesterday. What's the
Solar.
This dude.
cyber
Okay,
Cybertruck.
Cybertrucks, right?
Cybertruck, okay.
So they got so many gadgets, so much stuff in that truck. But if you don't know how to access it, how to maneuver through it, you still can drive.
Mm-hmm.
You can get to point A to point B.
Yeah.
But you don't get the ability to fully experience the car in its fullness. That's the same way we are as men.
Maximize it.
If we do not tap into the emotions, watch this. The Lord gave us. Now, all he's saying is, I have to build and strengthen your emotions.
Yeah.
Right? So that you are not emotionally led. But you need your emotions to tap into what you're trying to do. It's just like a balloon. You keep blowing that thing up, keep blowing that thing up, keep blowing that thing up, and don't let air out. Emotions allow you to do that. Before you know it, your balloon is so tight, the dull things can pop it.
Yeah.
Not sharp things, dull things.
So here's my, and when I ask these kind of questions, it's to the maybe the babe in Christ, but definitely the non-believer, right?
Absolutely.
How does my lack of know-how communicate with expectation of the world? Because expectation is raising me, right, as a man. However, God already got a blueprint, but I don't know that yet.
Right,
I haven't got there.
Absolutely.
So how do my lack of know-how, does that make sense?
Absolutely.
How does that communicate, or how do we make that work with, I don't know how, with expectation. And so because I don't know how, I chase the expectation because that's what's telling me how. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So how does that work? And I won't lie, there's a great part in me that feels that way. I know who Christ is. I know my purpose in life. But let's be real, nigga, it's hard. So I found myself saying, man, look, because I don't know how, okay, I'm gonna just go with. That's what you expect. I'm gonna chase the expectation.
I think the answer to that, chasing the expectation is the easy way out. I believe. I believe being purpose driven is hard. And that's the way that I believe that's how you deal with that. When you're purpose driven, and you're following that, the laws and precepts of Christ or whatever the case may be. When you're now, okay, I'm filtering the, what did you say? The expectation through Christ. So now, okay, everything that don't need to be, it's dropping off. So, okay, where I'm being stoic or something like that, if I'm filtering it through Christ, because that's one of the one of the attributes that they call like men. Yeah. Like you have to be stoic and you know what I mean, like you put together or whatever the case may be. Yeah. But if I'm filtering my emotions and things like that through Christ, I believe that you have those. You open up new doors to where it's like, oh, I can feel this way.
But see, the reality of it is, though, bro, right? There are a lot of great men who don't know Christ.
Oh, facts.
And because of that, there is no filtering.
Hold on. That's interesting that you say that.
Depends on your definition.
Now, again, because you have men that have done great things.
Yeah. And you're saying great men.
And not know Christ.
Yeah.
But how can we say we have a great man and he does not know Christ?
That's definition.
So
here.
there we go. So we gotta.
Yeah, because on the surface, I get that.
Yeah.
So
definition wise,
there's a Jadakiss song, bro, and one of the lyrics says, "I get my advice from an OG with a good job and all that, but he loves sniffing."
Yeah.
Nigga, dope fiend.
Yeah.
But some people's eyes,
good advice.
He get good advice. He got a good job, take care of his kid. Nigga, good man. He got good principles about himself, but his only default is, nigga, dope fiend. I use that reference to answer your question that I can deem a guy a great guy based off intentionality. He's intentional about how he acts. He has morals and standards. He may so happen not to just know Christ, which makes my relationship with him different. How I dwell with him is different, but that nigga a dope guy. And when he get to Christ, he gonna be even doper.
Because he's actually walking in God's principles.
He just don't know.
He just don't know him.
Yeah.
So, I put emphasis on that because unfortunately there are great men who just don't know Christ.
I know a lot of them.
And because of that,
dope.
they get lost either living up to expectation
Yeah.
or just getting stuck in the I don't know how.
True. Okay.
So to the
If that makes sense.
So to the non-believer just out here on the street, I'll say this. Just like I am trying to jump out on some different adventures that I really don't know much about. Okay, same concept. I don't know much about it.
Yeah.
But I do know that I want to do some things and accomplish some things, right? And I know there's a certain expectation if I walk in that field, these are some of the standards, or these are some things they're doing, right? Yeah. So what I do naturally is I'm starting to seek, all right? I'm starting to look at, well, who's doing what I want to do?
Right.
But then I got to be careful because everybody's different.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the common thread, common thing. For instance, you talk to millionaires. All of them have done different things, but they all got certain things in common.
Yeah.
Like all of them have read multiple books.
Yeah.
They've done different things, but there's a common. So for the non-believer that don't know what we know yet, don't know Christ yet, that I'm starting to search and look, okay, I want to live this way, want to know this thing. Man, I need to start searching. Here's the dope thing about our God. He has a dope way of making himself be found.
Yeah. He does.
And don't have to be necessarily found in his word yet because he understands the person.
Yeah.
The person might not run into his word, but they might run into his walking word, which is us.
Because I'm so sensitive to that mindset that I've taken on the mindset that I want to know how to doctor up, for lack of better words, right? Or tailor my journey, my walk with Christ to be attractive to multiple. Because I think I know for sure I have the knack to meet the guy the hood guy, the street guy.
Absolutely.
I got him.
Right.
Unfortunately, man, this is a bold statement. And if I need to dive more into it, I will. As a believer, if I was not a believer, I wouldn't want to be a believer because it looks like abandonment. You always say, man, like, what you gonna do, right? I used to always say, like, how can you believe in God when God don't look like what He said He looked like?
Absolutely.
So, as an unbeliever, I'd be like, I'm not believing in that shit, man. That nigga don't. He never. It's kind of like what we talked about last week.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, I ain't trusting God with this because he dropped the ball with me. So I try to walk in that walk where it's like, man, I want to be the opposite of what the believer. And it sounds weird, I know.
No, it don't.
I want to be the opposite of what the believer say I gotta look like because I want to reach the people I want to reach the people that they thought they couldn't reach because Christ ain't looking like what they were advertising him to look like. That makes sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
go ahead. Go.
So just a quick point. That's Bible,
It is all day.
right? That's literally who.
I'm writing my notes down because I'm gonna forget.
Ultimate cheat. I'm
say
going
it
to
so
the
much.
word.
No, that's funny.
Yeah. I know. These are raw thoughts, man. I mean, I wrote them how I thought them.
yeah.
So they.
We good.
No, but
Yeah, I'm sorry.
that's literally what, like, you explaining that is what the people thought Jesus would look like.
Yeah.
Right? They thought he would come in a horse. Came in a donkey. So it's like you have this, he's going to come and he's going to wage war on the Romans and he's going to rescue us and he's going to do these things. And it was like, I am, but not like you think I am.
That's too dramatic. I'm
Yeah,
a little more subtle than
it's
that.
just not. That's not how I want to do it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
yeah.
So it's 100% of what you're saying is like really. I think that's the way it should be. I think that's the way it should be done, and not everybody. I don't think individually.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that there should be some outcast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Outside of the thing where it's like, hey, I'm going to draw you to the group. You go in, I'm gonna stay out in the outskirts and I'm gonna do this work out here, where you have like literally you have people that are really good disciples for church, but then you got really good like disciples like in the world, where it's like, hey, I can disciple you to Christ, and then that's gonna lead you to the church.
Yeah.
You might not see me in there.
Yeah. Because I don't look like what the church looking like. That's how. That's how I think of myself. Like I don't look like what the church look like. I'm gonna kick it with you. One thing, and I don't want to bounce, and I'm not gonna bounce, but it's just bring me to the point of why. I ain't gonna get emotional. I got a lot of respect for you, bro.
Same.
Because you were my Sunday school teacher, right? Introduced to a guy I deem as my mentor. I'm thinking this guy he doing the job. He interact with us. It's cool. It's fun. I went through my situation, trying to commit suicide. The last person I ever thought to be like, nigga called me, bro, and asked me, you mind if I pick you up? I don't know if you remember that, man. I was like, no, what?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah? Why you asking me, nigga? Yeah. And I'm gonna bring it back full circle. He never asked me what and why. Mm-hmm. We went and made some money together. Yeah. We went and ate. Damn, man. We went and ate. That's cold. And in the moments of developing a relationship, guess who started running their mouth? Because he just developed a relationship. So saying that to say that he didn't look like what the church looked like. Yeah. Damn, bro. I'm forever grateful for you, man. And I just want to publicly tell you that, bro. But
it's amazing to even hear, man.
The Lord
tough,
puts man.
The Lord puts you in places, man, for a reason. Man, I never even would have been at Second Canaan. Never even would have been there, dude. I never would have been at that place, dude. And it just, man, the Lord, he saw fit for me to be where I was during that time, and then for someone to see me able to teach and put me in that position, man, to even have an influence and pour into you guys. Because y'all know, I was going through a rough time myself. I
didn't know until you scooped me up. I said, this nigga going through a divorce, and I'm up here talking about some, man. Yeah. Man, it to the point of just, you didn't look like what the church looked like in my eyes.
Dude, and just like you needed, I needed as
That's
well.
that mental health piece. Y'all need to talk.
That's crazy, man.
Real. So let me interject.
I don't even know how you even got to me, bro.
Man, I hit you up. I recall I picked you up and I had the caddy at that time. I remember that, dude. I do remember.
That's crazy.
Let me interject real quick. I got 5 points. I ain't gonna read all 5. I'm gonna read one, and this is point number 2. And it's just talking about the suicide rates. The suicide rates are significantly higher in men. Men die by suicide 3.9 times more often than women. Middle age or older white men are at the highest risk, but suicide rates are also rising among Black and Native American men.
It's tough.
I'm gonna hit the rest later, but just to speak on what you were saying, just to
give
facts.
What's and I love sharing my story. Mine was attention seeking going way too far. Let's be real. Okay. But it was a quiet, loud cry out of just, hey man, I need somebody to scoop me up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I always, bro, I want to give you public flowers. I always say it time I see you though. Mm-hmm. But I always, when I talk to people, man, I always tell them like, I want to just kick it with you, bro. I ain't really interested in what and why yet.
Yeah.
Because I seen it work.
Yeah.
This man didn't ask me. I only know him from Sunday school, bro. I'm in this man's car. He started telling me about his life. And I'm like, what? Man. And he feed me, we eat, we made some money together, and he paid me. Yeah. And then I'm just like, I trust him. Because he developed, you know what I'm saying?
Was that done intentionally, or did you have an idea that something was wrong?
No idea like that. Nope.
So what was the initial reason for the call?
I think I needed some help to do something. Was that
you called me and said, can I come scoop you?
Yeah.
And you needed something. I think we went to somebody's house to move something or something like that. Because she had cats or something. I remember.
Man, it was just that. man, the Lord just kind of.
But then it became a regular thing though, for like almost like a month, maybe a couple of weeks. He just would scoop me like
orchestrated the situation. And being man, like you said, as far as not looking like the church, I always felt that, you know, I'm not going to. I always saw myself as being different.
Yeah.
When it comes to my presentation, I did not fit that certain mold. So when I talk to young dudes, when I talk to people, I talk to them from a vein of where I was, you know, or what I was going through, or what I was doing. So it was just, I was more organic and natural with it, man, and it worked.
Oh, that's dope.
I'm forever grateful.
Yeah, I
You got-
didn't have a style.
you got 3 times to tell me about Keno, man, before I even entertained it. You said he did what now? That's cool. What did you do, nigga? You said what happened now? Okay, what did you do? And after that, after the 3rd time, I'm like, hey man, but I mean that, bro. I'm forever grateful for you, man.
The Lord is amazing, dude. So you took notes, so I'm really interested to hear.
There's a lot going on here.
Okay.
And it's the teacher in me like,
I know I'm bouncing in the sense of just
no, you good.
It's therapeutic for me too, right? But also it's just I just want to shine light on certain things because it's easy to talk to a person with the same mindset as you.
Yeah.
But the goal is ultimately too though, hey man, if I don't get you to the church, I just want to point you in the direction of the block of where the church is. Man. And the church being Christ, nigga.
I was
so
about to say, okay.
it's just
It was
Christ.
coming, but
yeah,
all right.
yeah, it's just Christ.
So here it is. What you two experienced was what we call fellowship, and you discipled them.
Yep.
For sure.
Right?
Yep.
So I am now talking to someone who does not want to hear anything about the church. I'm reintroducing it. This is what the Lord has called us to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fellowship,
Yep.
meaning kick it.
Let's
Yep.
kick
Yeah.
it.
In the kicking in it, the conversation
Kicking
is
in it.
birth. You like that? That's my East Side Detroit talk, right? So in that births conversation,
Mm-hmm.
and if 2 parts are willing, discipleship happens.
Yeah.
Right? All that is somebody showing you the way.
Yep.
True.
Ain't got to go through everything. You see me how I do. I'm not just going to tell you. And people got different methods. Show you first, teach you first, be with you, then let you do it. Point is discipleship. Here's another thing I wrote. People got to understand what the church is. Church, word, ecclesia, called out. Street terms. I'm different.
Yeah.
All right, so we got to hear that because we always make an excuse talking about, man, I'm tired of being, you were called to be different.
Yep.
I need you to hear that, all right? So you're different. Here it is. You mentioned something that you want to be the one to reach everybody, blah, blah, blah. Here's what I found out real soon.
Unfortunately, you can't.
You're not meant to reach everybody.
Yeah, you can't.
But you need to know that.
Yeah.
Because if not, you feel like a failure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I realize
Can be discouraged.
I have a niche. I have a vein. I might can hit more people than other people can, but I sure can't reach everybody. We're not called to reach everybody, which hints me to this point. That's why you from the street. That's why somebody is a more of an educational ram. That's why we got entrepreneurs. We got people who specialize in working for other people. You are different people because the Lord didn't want to change that part he put in you.
Yeah.
He's just trying to shift your mind, the way you think, how you perceive
The purpose
stuff.
of why you doing it.
So here's the purpose.
Yep.
Here's what I found out about my purpose. My purpose is the same purpose y'all got. He said in his word, our purpose is to duplicate him.
Sure.
Period. Now, how you do it is where we get with this uniqueness.
Yeah.
Cleaning companies and marriage companies and entrepreneurship and podcasts and different talents and gifts. Right. But the whole point in all this, because if it was just to be saved, man, once I accepted him, I'm out this boy.
Yeah.
He didn't do that. It is our job to replicate. So that means we got to go on the block.
Yeah.
We got to go in the boardroom because our whole point is to show who Christ is. The church is us.
Yeah.
The church is also the building,
Yeah.
but 2 different viewpoints.
Yep.
Organism, organization.
True.
We're the organism. We're the living, breathing church.
If COVID ain't taught you nothing,
We are the church.
it taught you that you are
Absolutely.
the church.
Now, the local assembly where we gather in the building is the organization. And we read the word, we can't run from that because he calls us to be together.
The necessity.
So that there's training going on. It is meant for us to gather so we get out there, boy, and go about our day to win more souls.
Yeah.
And there's more people who specialize out on the street.
Yeah.
Versus inside the building.
That's my thing. That's my gift.
We're meant to be sent out.
That's
That's the whole thing. We're
I'm
not
trying to
meant
bring this
stay
whole thing
closed
together,
in.
what we talking
The whole
about, right?
purpose is to go out. So yeah.
And then we was talking about not being who I thought Jesus would be. Here's another part of the Bible that's him. He's on the boat chilling with these cats, the guys that's been kicking it with him. Here it is. They kicking it with Jesus. They should know him by now. Storm happens. Like life gets hit. It gets crazy.
Man, is you is who you say you is for
They
real,
go
bro?
crazy. He's sleeping, meaning rest.
Man.
We talking about this mental health, man. So I'm thinking, man, why is it that when life happens, storms happen, and the way I handle it, I'm panicking. But the man on the boat with me
is resting.
is in the same storm I'm in.
Yeah.
He just see it differently. So they asking questions like, bro, why you ain't He looking at him like, I'm really sick of y'all. You don't know me by now?
Yeah.
Here's an indictment to me. Jay, if I want to look more like him, handle stuff like more like him, I need to hang out with him more.
Yeah.
I need to read him more. I need to kick it with him more.
I'm gonna give pushback to that.
Talk to me, because I got pushback with you.
I'm gonna give pushback to that. It's easy for him to be at rest because he's in control.
He was not in control. That's the beautiful part.
But
I hear what you're saying. He was not.
Ultimately, he is though.
He was not in
But
control.
ultimately,
And that's what people miss.
He has the ability. Ultimately,
So here's
ultimately, he
what
has the ability
To stop it.
to do
Because
it.
because he showed it. He showed his strength.
So watch
Hey,
this though. To his point, what if Jesus
Kill
did
all that
this?
noise. I'm trying to
Wait.
kill all that noise. I'm trying to sleep.
For the sake of
Peace be still. I'm trying to sleep.
yeah, for the sake of argument, what if
It
Jesus
was-
was like, what?
it was the-
hey, what if God was like, what, nigga?
Yeah, no.
Man,
It was
it's a storm. Now what?
It was the ultimate.
But he didn't.
So
It's the reason why he did it deep.
Yeah, I get it.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
thing-
It's all with a purpose.
The good perk of being a dad, and we can go back into this, right? Is the power of the hey.
Yeah.
So that's
Everything quiet.
Control the room. Control the room.
You don't know what you're doing. You just, I'm gonna sit tight. That was the dad of hey, all that noise out there. Peace be still. So that's what I'm saying. Like it was easy. The pushback is, it was easy for him to do that. He's in control.
Yeah.
You have my life in your hands.
It's a pushback if you just read the story
Yeah.
and then don't study the story.
Come on,
true.
So don't forget who we talking about. And that's probably what's going on, because I be forgetting who he is sometimes.
Yeah.
He's 100% God, but he's also 100% man. And he had to be 100% man because man jacked up. Man had to fix it.
Yeah.
Right? So Bible says he grew in knowledge day by day. That's important.
Yeah.
He is like us. There was limitations to his knowledge.
Okay.
But as he grew, wisdom, knowledge. Okay, let's get back to the boat.
Okay.
He tripping, and if you read the text, especially in the original, he looking at the disciples like, he got an attitude.
Yeah, what's wrong with
Bruh,
y'all? Yeah.
why y'all coming to me? All right. And he's doing this for a purpose so we can see it. A man. Winds and the waves. Hey, peace, be still. That's that scripture. We got to balance the word. There's other situations when he's on the same similar situation, walking on water. First of all, they already frightened because he don't look like what they thought he should. Okay? Boy in the boat, Peter like, hey, if that's you, bid me to come. Here's the transition of your pushback.
Okay.
He ain't Jesus, but he walks on water. Your pushback is he Jesus. He got power too. That's why he the only one that could. No, player. He says, if you tap into my power,
You can do it too.
you can. Listen to me, man. So he's saying, come. Peter does what he's doing all this for us to hear it. All we needed is word. I know it's scary. I know you struggling. Matter of fact, your boys you hang with is in your ear.
Yep.
Leave them.
Don't get out there, boy.
Hear my voice.
Yeah.
Steps out. Does something that anybody else doing. He ain't Jesus though, D.
Nigga say, "Oh, it's working."
It's working. He ain't Jesus. The only reason why he fails
Yeah.
is because he allows the noise to get him unfocused. And that's important, especially when we talk about this mental health. We're all in storms sometimes.
I think, and to the point of mental health, I think
for that too.
I think
Come on, D.
I'm
excited.
To the point of mental health, though, I really think Peter, it was a mental thing. Like, I'm just using this word.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not him. Maybe. Oh, damn! It ain't working no more. His mental.
He could.
He allowed those distractions to take over his mental, and now he's like, "No, nigga, you was doing what you believed you could do."
But it wasn't very clear what he said. It's basically the surroundings.
Yeah.
Again, once you lose that focus on what you're supposed to be on, you can get easily distracted. You're watching again. They were in a storm. I know what happened. I'm a fisherman. I know it. I know the outcome of when this type of stuff happen.
Yeah.
So I know what this means.
I know what this means.
Yeah.
Niggas don't walk away from this.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
So I can understand that, and this is my pushback to that.
I love it,
Okay.
man.
Peter gets a lot of hype in the church. Like that's Peter, that's my guy, and all that good stuff.
Nigga was a stepper.
I'm different.
Stepper,
I'm indifferent about Peter, simply because I feel like that was a character trait.
What you mean?
Peter was impulsive.
He was.
Okay. Okay. So with that being said, him getting out of the boat, and how I perceive it, that's that character flaw of being impulsive. Hey, this isn't working. I'm going to leave this situation. Because I look at it as people look at Peter and say he had faith to walk on water and all that good stuff because of Christ, of course. I say there was faith for the men to stay on the boat. It took faith for that to happen.
It was a whole bunch of faith going on.
A whole bunch of faith going on.
It was faith. It was faith that potentially I'm on the boat and the boat won't sink.
Yeah.
But we cannot disregard the clear word conversation that took place. Because there are people who would think that, but the word kills that notion. I never even saw it this way. Thank you, I'm preaching this. Mm-hmm. His character trait is impulsive.
Yeah.
And his normal reaction would have just flat out went out. But the reason why I really feel the word didn't allow him to, because he would have sunk.
But
he asked the question. He said, and it's almost like there was a growth moment. Being with you is actually changing my impulsiveness. Yeah. I'm asking you, do I got permission? Yeah. If it's you, watch it. If it's you, you give me the word to come. Yeah. That's a good one. Because his impulsiveness is, I never needed anyone else's permission to do what I do.
Which is why I said,
just stepped.
Which is why I said his mental.
That's what I'm saying.
He allowed it to get.
He was looking.
Yeah.
He was like the fact that there's this storm happening, and he finds the escape.
Then just get out the boat.
Yeah,
if your viewpoint, he went out.
He didn't just run out.
He didn't just run out. Again,
don't miss it.
No.
Because some people will miss it. They'll miss it and be like, "No, that's no." What really happened was,
I'm not taking that away from
an impulsive guy. Because I never thought about that.
Okay.
An impulsive guy made a different decision.
Okay.
I usually don't ask nobody for permission.
I'm jumping out the window.
But something's different here.
Yeah.
If bid me to come.
Yeah.
Other language says, give me permission.
Right.
And I'll step.
I like it.
I'm just going, we're just trying to, we're just trying to grow.
No, I think that's good though. I want to stay here, but for the sake of time, I want to just switch, right?
Gotcha.
Switch.
Because you said something, right? I forget exactly what it was, but it brings me to a point where I just kind of want to seek some counsel on, right? What did you say about, run through your points again?
See, that's why I wrote stuff down. You know, see, you hit a certain age, brother. You I forget what I typed.
Hey, that nigga said when you get his age cracking your neck, you gonna
Listen, okay, so I said fellowship, discipleship, church, called out ones. You can't reach everyone. He wants to renew your mind.
Reach everyone.
Can reach everyone. Got you.
I'm gonna take that, but I'm gonna switch it to relationship.
Go.
Okay.
I said this before publicly. I think that my love is a superpower, bro.
What you mean by that?
Almost literally. I think that's good. That's very, very, very good. Yeah. Almost literally that. But to give definition and context, I'm gonna just talk about relationship. Women. Mm-hmm. I think that I can love a woman through anything. I can love her out of some stuff, over some stuff, into some new stuff. And because I don't, but I'm realizing too, nigga, no. Nigga, no. To your point of where you were saying, like, you know, the idea is you can't reach everybody, bro. No. You know what I'm saying? That ain't even your purpose or your calling to do so. But I just want to bring that to the table of conversation of how do you dwell in that realm of like, man, I think it takes love. I think it takes doing. And then sometimes it takes, hey, you got to go seek that stuff somewhere else and come back to the table with a ready mind. That makes sense?
To be in a relationship?
Yeah. Cause I think that's my Achilles heel too, though. Is that, hey man, you can only love her to this point. The rest, she got to be willing. I love the W word. You got to be willing to go seek those things and figure that stuff out.
I got a lot to say on relationships, but I'm gonna let you.
Yeah.
Run your what you say?
Run your marriage.
Run your marriage. I guess my response to that would be
was loaded.
Yeah.
That was loaded.
Yeah.
So I'll narrow it down then.
No.
Again, my stuff be raw thoughts, man. So I think I right,
man. Yeah.
I'll shorten it up. I guess what I'm basically saying is, how do you, when I say superpower, how do you use the thing that works for you? How do you use that to your advantage without overstepping someone else that needs to grow to where you are? Does that make sense?
So my answer to that will be simply put, is that person your assignment?
I have no idea what.
I was about to say,
honestly, I have no idea what that means, bro. Right. I have no idea what that means
because you have some. If I believe you know,
because it's all about choices to me. To me, I get to choose you.
Facts.
So because it says when
that's free will.
Because when I find a wife, nigga, I got to go looking and choose and filter that thing through something, right? Yeah. So when people say, not just you, I heard that before. That's your assignment. Yeah, nigga, I chose it to be. Yes, it's my assignment. Am I willing to work
I think that's
this
the
assignment?
That you chose it to be your assignment. I feel like if it's something, if the thing is meant for you to be able to work in your superpower, it's gonna work out.
I disagree, bro. I gotta put the work in. Because what happens when we meet a lady, right? What we do?
I'm not saying you're not
the same
working.
thing in a sense. I got what you're saying.
I'm not saying you're not working.
Yeah.
You're still the superpower. You still the heart, love. Like I'm still applying the superpower.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is the outcome will show.
It'll be a little easier.
I don't even think it'll be easier because marriage ain't easy.
No, sir.
No, I'm asking.
But it's a good word.
It is.
Yeah. It's, you know what I mean? So, but that's what I'm saying to where it's like, you know, that's the thing when it's working out.
I got you.
Again, we talked about how do you know that would you follow Christ even if it don't look like the thing?
Nigga, if I wasn't a believer, no.
Man, so kind of into what you were saying, and we're not meant to. Everybody is not your assignment.
Yeah,
because he talks about casting pearls before swine.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't meant to. You know what I'm saying? I probably that ain't what I'm supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so. And calling it a superpower is hilarious. That given that your superpower is hilarious.
I think it's my greatest attribute. I think that my love is a.
First of all,
It's a power.
to
It's a
hear this
power.
from him and know him is so funny.
It's my greatest attribute.
My great
But yeah,
attribute,
man,
bro.
I just it
So I got
we
to
have
offer.
to pick and choose. You have to. I mean, I know we're called to love, but man, we're
Which is
also,
the bare minimum, Kino. That's the bare minimum of who Christ is. It's just the love.
man, dude,
True, but
not-
it's talking on.
yeah, it's far more than that. But man, I just wouldn't. I could not, man. So I couldn't just love everybody like that the same. It's just is not, especially in a female relation. You know, trying to be in a relationship with a female, man. Is you see early on that nah, I can't show you everything. I don't start out loving that woman like that. I might be attracted to that woman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I can't, man, she don't get to see my superpower just yet. You know what I'm saying? I got to make sure she worthy of this superpower before I unleash this boy. I can't just, so everybody don't get that.
So I don't, and not in a combative way, just sake of conversation, right? I had talked to P and B about that. When I say bare minimum, our job is to show. It's just to show love. I don't walk through the hallway and be like, I'm not gonna show love to this guy.
No.
I'm not gonna show love to this lady,
Nope.
right? But to your point, I also understand that in talking in the sense of dating, you're probably undeserving of of what I got for you, what I got to offer. I probably can't give that to you. Unfortunately for me, I have the mindset I'm just gonna give it to everybody, and I find out the hard way whether you deserving or
Meaning
not.
you tap into that love quickly.
Yeah,
without
because it's
vetting.
like this.
I got you.
This is my intention,
I got you.
and I think I'm learning. I don't know yet. I think intentions don't mean shit for real. I can have great intentions,
Said
bro.
earlier on.
I can have great intentions for something,
Yep.
and then that ain't finna get me nowhere.
Most of the times.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say all the time, because
Yeah.
sometimes it does.
Does that make sense, though?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I agree with you though. Like everybody not deserving of that. I just personally have not found out how to be like, well, every chick, my intention is to do this. So I'm here. What we doing?
Quick points. I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. All right. So real quick, I wanted to say this, just for people who are listening out here, don't know nothing, right? There's multiple definitions of love. I'm just gonna shoot 3 of them out, right? Philos, right, which is mostly brotherly love, which is all of them are powerful, right? But they're different type of loves, right? Then you got eros, which is where we get erotic love from, which is really unveiling love, right? Then you got agape love, which is more so tapping into God's viewpoint, but yet when you read the scripture, he's actually tapping to all of those. He's all of those loves, right? Sure. That's number 1. So when we just shooting this thing love, I keep saying this word definition. I hope that helped your life.
No,
we
dope.
sometimes got to give definition to a whole bunch of stuff. All right.
We call it context. It's the same thing. A lot of people call it context. Same
So
thing.
now we're talking about a person who really trying to deal with this relationship. I'm trying to be practical. First of all, it goes off looks. You only can go off of what you see. It's almost like the balloon phenomenon, right? They walk into the room. Sometimes I don't agree why they pop their balloon, but the point is they only can go off of what they see. Yeah. So they're looking at seeing, they looking at how you walk, how you move, your mannerism. That's kind of how it starts. Then the second thing is you starting to look at how they deal with people. I'm looking at personality, right? And do I want to go that level? Here's why we need boundaries, why we do this. Wow. Because if we don't have boundaries, you will crash your car. If you don't have a beam on each side, one going real fast, one going another fast, speed limits to teach me how slow, how fast, I will crash my car. Yeah. I would put winter clothes on for a summer situation. You will mishandle a woman, and she really wasn't the one you need to be tapping to. She was somebody you need to kind of plug into sisterhood and let her grow, right? So don't let her get your superpower. So here's how we do it. Yeah. We look. Then if you want to date, because definition is important. To me, dating is collecting data.
True.
So that can look many different ways. It's us kicking it one-on-one. It's us with other people, group. I'm just trying to get information. And you need group more. Let me tell you why. It'll help you with your boundaries. So you're watching her. You got other people vetting. You just looking at how she moving. She trying to know you there for her, that type of thing. But it helps you, right? So collecting data. Then once you move into collecting data, then you move into common goal, conversations. How you see this? You want children? You don't. I got some. How you feel about this? How you feel about marriage? How you feel? when you start getting on common ground, you start to now choose and look at, she don't like this, do this, blah, blah, blah. And this is what I tell people. You need to have these conversations before you get too intimate. Because once you get intimate, once you get intimate, it's
the best
hard
word I have,
to
Keno.
see
the
red
best word I
flags.
have, bro.
And let me say something about your love. Your superpower is all of our superpowers. The Lord says we should love that way.
Which is why I said bare minimum. That's why I use those words.
But
like,
to his defense, it's hard.
Get no extra
because
credit for that.
Real love is patient.
Man.
Is being kind. It ain't just being have your way. It means you deserve for me to really cuss you out and handle you a certain way. But I'm gonna be kind in this situation. It's not self-seeking. It takes work to love. So here's what I want to say to you, B, and maybe somebody else is like you. You don't
had niggas that raised you. They know they get to talk to you. Directly.
You don't.
No, I love
You're
it.
to the point. You still don't. You like that car. You don't know all the gadgets to your superpower yet.
Man.
Which is why it's important for you to learn what is this whole love thing. Okay, let me look at his definition, kind love. And I'm starting to study this stuff, and you're going to realize, oh, yeah, I need work on these. Right? So while I'm doing this and I'm seeing a girl that I'm pursuing, man, questions, conversation, and put stuff on the table. And I'm going to say this, y'all going to be mad at me. You can't have sex with her.
Man,
Let me tell you why. Because one, yeah.
it's the hardest
I don't say sex.
part,
You know what I
hardest
say?
part.
You can't stroke her.
Yeah. You can't know her.
You cannot know her. You can't know thee. Can I touch thee? Let me tell you why you can't.
know
Because there's no rules when sex is involved.
Yeah.
It was meant for you to be driving fast. It was meant for you to
Expedite
explore.
everything. It expedite everything. Now, that's
So
a
when
fact.
you do that with someone that ain't
fact.
on the same page and definition ain't correct, no rules, emotionally jacked up, whether you want to say it or not, and you don't see red flags clearly.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. I don't disagree with that at all.
So I'm just trying to help us. We
I
talking
got
about
a
mental
question
health.
though.
Us.
Can
A lot of us get in some storms because we put ourselves.
Can I
in.
have one that I'm filtering and one that just ain't?
What you mean by that? One you stroking and one you. One I'm tapping and one I'm caressing.
One I'm sending through like, okay, we're gonna ask about the tough question, have a great conversation. No, unhand me now. No. And then one I was just like, come here, hand me now.
No.
I'll say this. Here we talking about manhood. Here's my statement I wanted to say. Skip, you a good man or a real man? Do you really want to be a godly man?
Yeah. So that's the. So man, listen, man. I'm gonna give a real transparent nigga. No, there are times where I feel that way, right?
Absolutely.
Where I'm like, hey man, I know the responsibilities and the expectations that come with that. It's a lot easier just to go this route.
I beg the difference, but I feel you because I feel the same way.
That's just how I feel sometimes.
But it's worse.
However,
However,
I end up going. They used to say God had a sense of humor. Yeah, he does. The funny part about him is he'd be like, "Well, go ahead. If that's what you
want, I'm gonna let
go
you have that.
ahead." And then I'm gonna be in the same spot
It's
when
easier
that
to
don't
rock
work out.
with him.
Yeah,
Far easier.
Yeah.
Because I did both, then double back and did the both again.
Yeah.
And I'm just telling you,
'Cause
it's easier.
he'll give you something you think
Far
and
easier.
cry and desire about, just to be like, "I told you, that's not what I had or wanted for you." So you ready to do it my way? So I agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
I messed up so many.
Yeah, listen,
And the Lord
I'm
helps
still
you, boy.
yeah.
Still,
No,
Yeah, me
we
too.
are.
I'm just doing
Yeah.
that.
I think my problem, I know my problem, right,
Still growing.
is that my desire trumps the work ethic. Man, I desire this thing, guy. But nigga, I don't feel like, you said something before. Every step is necessary. I'll be like, man, I've been through 1 through 5 already. No, nigga, but if you desire this, you gotta go through 1 through 5. And then you gotta do 6 and 7. I be like, but God, I desire 12. I'm starting at 7.
Yeah.
He's like,
And B, I want to say this to you too. Make sure you run. This is something I'm learning. make sure you run your desires through his filter. You said adult word filter.
Which is why I said filter earlier. That's what I meant by that.
And here's why I'm gonna say this.
Because he gives us a blueprint of how of what to filter things through and how to filter them through.
And he says you're tempted by your own desires.
Yeah.
Pulled away, drawn.
He's saying, no, the thing that tempts you has jack to do with me or even the Satan. It's your own desires. So the thing you desire, and it ain't got to be women all the time. Sometimes it's the power of being in control, entrepreneurship, whatever that is. If not careful, opportunities will come, but they all don't come from him.
Yeah.
And it will tempt you to do some other avenues, play some other type of games. And the thing that's tempting you is simply by birth from your own desire. So I am learning, man. I gotta run everything through him so that I realize some of my desires is legit. Like he wants it from me. Yeah. But I had to run it through it. And I realize it's for me, but yet I still put some other sauce on it. Yeah. And he washed some of that sauce off because I was about to jack up. And I was like, can you keep that?
No, that's good though. And
I think it's also timing too. It is. Where it's like
timing is big. That
desire. Yeah, like I got you. Like, no, you want it, I got you. Not now though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the analogy I always use, even when I'm talking to my sons, my oldest son specifically, about like sex, where it's like
you older. If you got an older son,
older son. Yeah.
I got a 12-year-old son.
I got a middle boy, and I got the baby boy. Yeah. But like when it comes to sex, where it's like, hey, this is hey.
Gonna bless you now.
Hey, it's good.
Because we gotta stop lying.
It's good.
Because they used to lie.
Wait a minute, who lied?
It's
No.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Generation before us, their viewpoint to us would say, you know, don't do the picture that they paint. It is. No,
I show you right now. Wait.
Hey. You said black to me. I'm black.
Well, let's do 2 points. It is good. And timing.
In timing. And so what I always say to him, or you know what I mean, when I say to him is like, hey, imagine me giving the keys to my car to your baby brother. As he is now.
Dope viewpoint.
Yeah.
Not only is it dangerous for him, it's dangerous for everybody he come in contact with.
Yeah, that's good.
Dope.
If I do it now. However, if I just wait a couple years to where he can really reach the pedal, he can see everything.
That's
he
dope.
has that awareness. He has the understanding of what I'm doing is dangerous, but it's fun. Driving is fun.
Yeah.
Daddy got a nice car. So it's like once you reach that point, it's once you get there, go. But before you get there, it can be very dangerous.
So let me ask you a question, bro. I'm being very selfish in the sense of nigga, I just needed y'all to help me in life. That's why we here.
You really got a free session. Basically, what I'm saying is we all need to talk today.
Yeah. But I
think we covered that.
I just want expectation. I ain't got no money. You got no money.
James pointed at me like, so what are you doing? I got the text like you did, brother.
7 o'clock, bro.
Thank you for the process.
I got the text like you did.
Hey man, so cause it's just healthy for me, bro.
Yes, sir. For all of us.
I was about to say,
and this is who all three of these y'all been in my life for real. You know what I'm saying? I burden this nigga with my entire life. To the point I'll be like, I'm just gonna wait a month. I'm just call him in July.
Dump.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, speaking of that, I'm just going here because that just hit me. Hey, so the word helps me with even that. Being able to balance being there for people, taking one another's burdens.
That's crazy.
And giving your burdens to the Lord. If not careful, you sound like they contradict. Yeah. Like, take on one another's burdens. Other part of the Bible says, give your burdens to me. Give it to me. Cast it to me. Yeah. But they actually work harmlessly. They together. They're harmony. Because you're supposed to be there for each other. Mm-hmm. And to help you to not drown under the weight.
Mm-hmm. Shift them, boys.
Yeah.
So you should be shifting it to him, but he also gives you something on earth called brotherhood.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I'm receiving your burdens and being there for you and taking and giving. And now I need to, so that I won't drown, cast into the same person you cast. That's how it happens.
Which is dope. First of all, thank you, Lord, because we had a whole vision for this, and it just went how it's supposed to go. But I said it to my therapist. I said, nigga, he white, so I definitely didn't call him a nigga.
But that actually would have been dope. You said it. He's like, oh, so it's not a color thing. It's a situational thing. Oh,
your emotions are high. Carry on, bro.
Oh, really?
But I called him by his name, and I said, I really, because I'm babbling, I'm talking. I go to therapy every week, which I think is good for men, right? And I said, man, who the hell do you talk to, bro? Because we burden you with our lives. Mm-hmm. His answer was, oh yeah, it's a higher priority, y'all. I cast that thing on Jesus. I was like, I got a running joke with him. I said, this is one of them days where I don't like you, bro. It's because he be giving sound advice and he real. And I was like, yeah, this the day I don't like you.
So are you charging me for this?
Yeah.
Should I take this and just cast it like you know what we do?
So because time is of the essence. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna ask a question because now I just want to know, and then I'm gonna kind of finish off with some real life questions that women ask. We did a post and we said if there were a room full of 100 men, what would you ask?
Gotcha.
Just to have some fun to close out. But in the sense of desires, right? Mm-hmm. My desire to be loved is shown through how I love. Because I lack it, right? I lack a certain amount of a way of love. So I just give it in hopes that if I say this to y'all, right? I say it's unfortunate I feel like love don't unlock love. Respect don't unlock respect. I respect you, bro. Nigga, you still might disrespect me.
It's possible.
Yeah.
But it don't automatically guarantee an unlock. I love you. It's a possibility. You still might not love me.
That's facts.
And so because I desire in the sense of relationships, women, right? I desire to. I looked at it, bro, and this is not shaming her. I don't think I've ever been loved, even in my marriage. I don't think I've ever been loved by a woman, bro. And my desire to feel that, right, and want that is extra. It's an extra incentive as why I give.
And that's how you feel, is what you're saying.
The superpower, that nigga like.
You know what I'm saying? That's how you
that's how
feel.
I feel that way. So because of that, I'm already naturally that. My nature is just I'm a nurturer. I love. That's just who I am, bro. In any relationship, but especially women.
All or nothing.
Yeah.
Type situation.
Yep.
All or nothing. Okay.
Yep. Because my intention, I ain't here to waste your time.
Yeah.
Nigga, and I joke, but I mean it every time I tell somebody this. Nigga, every girl I had was the one. Yeah. That's what I'm here for.
He said, yeah.
Nigga, her, I love her.
So
I've been there.
Yeah, ain't gonna work.
Sean Love?
Yes.
So one of my mentors told me this. He says, and this is before I got married. He says, everyone is potential wife, which is why you got to treat them with respect and handle them correctly. Mm-hmm. What you don't want to do is mishandle your future wife.
Yeah.
Which, first of all, gave me boundaries, right? I messed up a couple times. But the point is,
man,
it gave me boundaries.
Yeah.
So that I now didn't see them as sometime you can as something else, but old girl could potentially be that. So I have to handle her.
It changed my intention. My barber, in a joking way, just to bring light to it, right? My barber was saying, we was talking about stroking, bro. He was like, I was like, yeah, man, you can't get every woman the thing. He said, no, nigga, all I know is 10. I ain't going there till I'm giving a 5 today. Nigga, I'm giving 10.
So if you know that's your effort, right, only one getting my 10.
But it's the same thing I feel with my love, though. It's like, nigga, I'm here to give a 10 because I desire a certain outcome. Yeah. I desire a certain thing. So my point is, I don't know how. I have not mastered, to your point of, Shreddy, I got to give you a 3 because I don't even know if you worthy of the other 7 yet. Yes. Or I just don't know if this going to go to a point where I can just unlock that because I've I've maximized the comfortability of giving you that.
You talking about love, right?
Yes.
So,
She had to specify.
because I thought you were talking about stroking.
No, I'm off that. That was comedy.
Right.
That was
so
just,
love. I'll say this first of all. When we start breaking down that word and how the Lord's teaching us how to love, and I gotta keep going to Him because that's my reference, right?
But they know our platform.
All right. So here's what He says: true love is almost to the point giving a gift, not seeking to get a gift in return. You gotta know that ultimately I am. First of all, love is a choice. Every day I wake up to choose my wife. Every day.
I do every day. You told me that a long time ago.
So now I also have to check myself sometimes that I am choosing to love her, even if she either don't love me back or, watch this, don't give me the same energy I gave her, which is your struggle. And here's why that got to get rectified, because you will miss out or have missed out or will miss out on the one that really love you, but because of how your glasses see love, it's foggy. So when you see it, you like, I ain't seen it clear yet. But however, you didn't know the glasses you got on actually just need to be clean.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's happening in your life, that you having a legit gripe. You do. Because first of all, if people don't know, I know your background. I know where you came from. Yeah. So it is the Lord has already healed, but yet some things got to walk out to heal day by day, right? Mm-hmm. Then second of all, that has to be fixed, because again, there is someone who really do love you. Sometimes they might show it differently than you, but because of your hurtness, you see in hurt. Mm-hmm. And here's what we're praying for, is that you allow the Lord to clearly clean your glasses. That first of all, ain't nobody in this planet like you. Y'all got two different fingerprints. Yes, there's no one like B. So B's gonna love how B's gonna love, and no one will match that. However, there's somebody else that's opposite of you, got some dope love they want to give to you. You're just afraid to receive it, and that's okay. That's where this process has to begin. You get what I'm saying?
I do. I think I don't disagree with that. Just for the sake of context for me, I feel as if though I've gotten to a point now where I question my delivery of love because it hasn't been received. Yeah. So it makes me say, well, damn, nigga, what's up with me, bro?
There could be a little bit of you, and some of it might not be you.
I was about to say, that's why I want to get
I accept that too, though.
Yeah, because some might not be you.
I don't think it's your delivery. What James was even saying, where it's like, hey, the way that I show love to my wife, I'm expecting some sense or some type of the rebuttal that I want, and I'm not, and I don't see that. Oh no, it's wrong. That's not what I envisioned how you will respond to what I did.
What I just did.
And I hate buying flowers. I feel like they are the most pointless thing to buy. I hate them with a passion. I see no point in it. I'd rather get you some shoes that you're going to always, these shoes is comfortable. Oh, my baby bought me these. These flowers are going to die. My wife loves flowers. Mm-hmm. She loves them. So me being spiteful, I should say, I'm going to buy the flowers, but I want you to jump out the ceiling. Because you know I hate this thing, and the fact that I did it, and you like, oh, thank you. No. I spent $47. I still got the receipt in my pocket. Give them back. So I think that's the
that makes sense.
I think that's the thing where like you're filtering it through. Okay, I did this
expectation.
Yeah,
but unspoken expectation.
Unspoken. Yeah. And that's what I was getting to.
I don't disagree at all.
Like
I literally move
your
like
response is not what I feel like I gave, because I'm all or nothing.
And y'all, and so if we was counseling, like me and my wife's counseling, we'll say that's actually a dope point. That needs to be talked about. Yeah. Like he needs to say, babe, I know you know this, but I want to express it. I hate this why I do it. Because it's important to tell why. Yeah. I don't like these because I think they will die as pointless. Not that I'm an enemy to flowers. It's gonna die.
You don't have
Second
a
of all, this is not your specialty, baby. Now, I ain't mad at you, boo. You gonna try.
They gonna die sooner than what they gonna die.
Right? I ain't mad at it. Now,
you already had 3 weeks.
Now,
this is 4 days.
If I was talking to you, I would say, now, you know your wife. Don't say it that way. No, because if you say that, she's not gonna receive nothing else that we say right now. You gotta lie, right? So, but that needs to be expressed because sometimes if they just know, now it ain't gonna change right away. But the Lord's working on both of y'all.
Yeah.
So now the Lord's working on his wife, saying, "I have to do a better job of how I respond to show my love to him." Because now I realize he actually did a thing that is a struggle for him to love on me. So I didn't know my response to him was actually causing him not to do it even more. But him communicating that, her receiving that, and that thing got to go back and forth. Before you know it, as you are still collecting data, you're learning how to love. And I think that's also you and whoever she will be learning how to love and growing together in this process.
I'm stroking the rest of these days.
May your thing grow 7 heads.
Great.
Then he look at you and be like, "May your thing talk to you." Hey,
I'm stroking, nigga.
we sick.
We need to break
They say, "What's your name?" Stroke.
the oil change.
Yeah, it's gonna drive you crazy. That thing start talking to you, you're gonna be like, "Shut up! I know I'm talking loud. Stop."
Nigga, I'm stroking. No, man, I appreciate y'all, man. Here before we have some fun, man. Here is something I think that's important to say. As a man, I love y'all, bro.
Absolutely.
I mean that.
Man,
I mean that, man. I mean that.
funny because y'all always used to say that, dude.
Yeah.
And I would never.
You would never
ever
say it.
Dude.
I know.
Never, ever, dude.
She gonna be like,
Bet.
Why is that
I
though?
don't understand.
Okay.
I don't get why. You even
Nigga say, yeah, ditto. Why is that
It's a
though?
nice shirt you
Man,
got on, bro.
I don't know. Man, I
That ain't what I said, but all right.
never walked around and told dudes that I loved them like that.
Yes,
and I
man.
never did. Not saying that I did not love them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's not true at all, man. I have a brother that I love dearly, but I can't recall the last time I said, "Dude, I love you."
You know what I'm about to ask you?
What's that?
Because that's who I am.
Go ahead. Yeah.
How? Because I know your father.
Mhm.
How was that relationship?
Man, so me and my dad's relationship was interesting. In my younger years, developed into something incredible, but it was interesting in my younger years. But with that dynamic, I still had an incredible grandfather who filled in every gap that might have been, you know what I'm saying, there.
Right.
So yeah, so I don't attribute it to that. You
That's
know what I'm
dope.
saying?
I wanted to know.
Yeah, I really don't attribute it to that because I was loved, man. My mom mentioned this to me the other day because I think we somehow brought this up a roundabout way over the weekend. My mom was with me, so kind of roundabout talked about it, and she said, "I don't know why, because you were loved incredibly as a child. They had to tell us to stop kissing on that boy, stop hugging him, let him." You know what I'm saying? So that wasn't it, man. I really don't. I think it was more so the era that I was raised in, the dudes that I was
toughness of
around. Yeah, it was like, dude, yep, you know, you're my dude, but I ain't.
It's the opposite for me.
And Dad said he loved you? Your father said he loved you?
Yeah.
It's the opposite for me though.
You know what I'm saying? That was not. Yeah, that was.
I
not
never had that growing up. Like my best friend of over 20 years. That's what they do in their family. Every time they leave each other, I'm about to go to the store real quick. All right, love you. So I adopted that. So I never, excuse me. That wasn't. We didn't even say good morning. So niggas be like, good morning. I'd be like, what up, though?
Yeah, right.
So
me too.
because I lack that, that's why I do it. And I thought it was important to say, like, for me, it's also like a that's the highest peak of the relationship for me. Equivalent to like when you date. You like her, you take her to meet your mama, you engage her, you marry her. Ooh, what you want from me? Therefore, I did everything. Even in relationship as a man, I love you, bro. Like, nigga, you know I'm rocking with you, bro, because I got love for you. So I respect that mindset. But for me, that's my
back to that because I want to say I love y'all too.
No,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
appreciate that.
Oh, no, this-
different.
Now that's big.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
appreciate that,
That's
bro.
That's, yeah, that's
big.
definitely,
No, I appreciate that.
sure.
I remember when.
No, I just thought it was interesting to identify the different reasons as to why to and why not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we posed the question, man. If there was a room full of
100 men.
100 men, what would you ask? And these are women. This is only women. Women, what would you say? Anybody can answer, whatever. It says, how do you see yourself? Take away the material stuff. Who are you?
Well,
And this is without knowledge of guests. This is just like talking to 100.
yeah, without
room full of
material
100
stuff
men.
because of who I really am.
Yeah, who are
I
you?
now can flat out say I am a believer and a child of God. That's not surface anymore. That was surface a long time ago. Like that's really who I am, and in that is wrapped in everything.
When you say surface, you mean like cliche?
Right. Right. It's not. It's no. That's how I identify, and I am me. I'm my dope self. This is how I am in the pulpit. This is how I am on the street. This is what my wife.
I'll
Anybody
attest to
that
that.
know me, this
I'll
is who
attest to
I
that.
am.
I'll attest
If
to
I'm
that.
dipping my girl, we dancing. I am. This is me.
A nigga Jay Hayes.
Right.
But I'm a belief, and it's in me, and it comes out in how I talk, how I move. This is who I am, and all that other stuff is birthed from that.
Yeah.
The silliness, the dramatic guy, all that stuff. I rock with him.
I attest to that. No, you know.
Man, it's interesting because I would have to define myself in the same way, but it just comes out totally different.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, man, that I that it happened that way because this dude allowed me to. He pulled me out of my comfort zone because I was stoic and standoffish and not, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I ain't, I'm not going through all of that, man. I don't need all them answers, dude. That's not me. But it just shows in me different, man. Same thing. I identify as a child of God. If you take away everything else and if strip me down, bare minimum, that's what you would see. If you squoze me tightly, what would come out would be his word. It just somehow, because I've been in situations, I've been in predicaments where the squeeze was incredibly tight and what came out of me was him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So bare minimum, that's what it is.
That's how you know is in you.
Yeah, I attest to that. They the same way every time the same way, man. And we shake hands, nigga, you still be like,
You shoot you this ball.
Now, here's the thing. If you would have asked that years ago, you would have squalls out, bare minimum, I would have said abandonment, broken little boy. That's what I would have said.
yeah.
Man, Lord has shifted some stuff. So it depends on when you ask that question.
When you ask that question. That's for real.
That's dope.
That's for
Timing.
It's everything.
That's for real.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, how would you answer that?
My answer will be, I guess I'm gonna go natural. I'm a family man.
Yeah.
Talking about natural. Nigga, that's the same thing.
It is,
It's in them.
yeah, it is. But without giving the, I guess, the spiritual side of it, which it is. I don't shy away from that at all. But essentially, I am 1,000%
Family.
family.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing that comes before that.
I attest to that too.
You know what I mean? Like there's nothing that comes. I filter outside of Christ. It's family. Hey, if we got something to do, unfortunately, I can't make it.
Yeah.
If it comes down between you having something and you in the struggle, and then my son needs some ice cream just because he wants some ice cream, I ain't got it, brother.
Yep.
Nah.
We echo that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? So
Yep.
that it's 1,000% family.
Family, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
For me, bro, I'm all of that, but I'm gonna go the opposite way. Loyalty, bro. When you ask about Brandon, that nigga loyal. Like I take bullets for you and with you. And if you want to move, nigga, I'll beat him up. You go do your thing, fam. Don't worry about nothing. Loyal and love, bro. That's I stand on that. Yeah, I'm gonna love you, but to prove that I'm gonna be loyal to you.
Yeah.
My loyalty that's just who I am, and that go with my kids, my relationships, my friends, mentor. Any nigga, I'm loyal, bro.
I think me and your answer was true. Not saying that theirs wasn't. However, they're in a different space than us.
Yeah.
Right? I think ours come from an area of lack.
What you mean?
I think our answer and who we are, who we would define who we are, comes from an area of, hey, I'm this person because I want somebody to be this person.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm this person because I prayed I could have this person.
Absolutely.
Growing up. So,
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
That's a dope viewpoint.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
absolutely.
Where it's like,
It is.
I think they've kind of grown past that to where it's like,
Niggas old.
Now,
I'm not saying that.
No, I'm with you. Now, what I don't want with people, with people to hear.
I can say that. You know?
Now, I know when people hearing this, I know people like, man, that's all that Bible talk about. Listen to me, bro. We done live life.
Yeah. And
It's life. However, we struggle.
Yeah,
Married, not married. We struggle,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But at the end of the day, we realize
at the core of it
when
all.
you get
Who it
swole,
is, what come out?
man, what comes out that rag is what you really is.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
man, I thank you. That's what it come out. If I ever give a word, I'll probably say consistency.
yeah.
I'm consistent.
No, but I don't think that's a great point.
That was
Yeah.
dope what he
but
said.
not a bad statement because
No, it wasn't. No.
And
And I'm
I
saying
know
that-
y'all. That's exact.
and that's what I was gonna say.
That's exactly who they are, bro.
And you definitely have a better relationship with them. I'm just now meeting bro, but James, I've known him for quite a while.
A long time.
But it's also been from afar.
yeah.
To where it's like I see the consistency.
About to say consistent.
This man has been this man since I've known this man.
Yeah. Man, that was I was a kid.
You know what I mean? Like who he is, that's just who consistency. That's
I will tell you,
Yep, I love stroking
but
my
he's
wife.
also
Yep.
consistent.
Yep.
And he the one that taught me. He said,
I love stroking my wife.
He used to teach me.
I'm consistent.
He said the Bible
I
says stroke your wife.
I love
man.
my wife.
He used to always say that, bro.
Matter of
But
fact,
that's
when I
who
get home, I'm
he
gonna
is.
say, "Hey, girl, I know I've been gone. What I need to do? When we watch this,
He used to say the Bible.
What
says
I need to
The
do.
Bible says stroke your wife.
he
man.
did say, "Thou shalt stroke me." Sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's for real. That's the joy of being saved and being married.
Man,
what? Being married. It cover,
Be at
it
work
cover,
like,
it cover all of that.
What you doing? I'm just thinking about you. Wanted to stroke you.
That's okay.
Are you?
Because I'm a gentleman, so that's okay.
Are you touching the agreement?
Is this an agreement moment?
Nah, but he been consistent, man. Like y'all, since I know y'all, man.
It is what it is, dude.
Yeah.
In the midst of changing situations.
Straight
Yeah,
up,
yeah, yeah,
straight up and
100%.
down.
Because life has changed,
Yeah,
man.
100%.
Man, we had time when we talk about fatherhood, being with these children, our grown kids, still in your pockets, but in a good way, but just dealing with them, maneuvering. Like all right, let me shut up because
Layers to this boy. It's so much.
we got
man.
kids that's
It's
trying
so
to deal with
much.
relationships that don't want to listen to you, and then it's just a lot
Yeah.
that you got to be able to.
Hey, I've done this. Hey, this what I tell my kid. You too dumb not listening to me, nigga. You don't know nothing.
That's hilarious.
At bare minimum, listening to me.
Hey, I remember what they
And
used
I'm
to tell
dumb,
me.
and I'm dumb too.
That's
I got another one, man. I think this is good. What would help you married? But what would help you? What would help y'all feel safe with women? This is what the women was asking.
Oh, feel safe?
What would help y'all feel safe with women?
Man, so I'm gonna tell you this, and it's I don't want to be cliche and all of that, but I'm living it now.
Help the people.
A woman who has a relationship with Christ,
Yeah.
makes it's a lot easier to feel safe with that woman because she ain't looking at you funny when you like don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to chill. She understand. I need to read, or I need to. You know what I'm saying? She understand. Man, I'm really trying to chill today and do nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I really want to spend some time with the Lord and just lay back. She understands that, so I'm safe. I feel safe doing that. If she had even with our struggles, if she had no relationship with Christ, it would be the safeness would be all gone. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because now, how you gonna deal with it? Her response to me and what I'm trying to do can be given from a world perspective, from a social media perspective, from a a TV perspective, or from a misguided family member perspective, wherever it might come from. So to me, it's that relationship with the Lord is my safe space.
That's dope. I literally don't know. I don't have an answer. I have no.
I give it to you though.
I have no idea.
You need that.
Yeah.
but it comes out differently. Like I need trust is important, but it's how my wife curates that, right? So even if when we were dating and how she elevated above the others, it's how she handled me in the situation.
Yeah.
Which at the end of the day, I found out because she loved the Lord. Watch this, more than me.
Exactly.
It ain't that she loved the Lord; she loved Him more than me. Which is why I tell anybody, and it's probably a hard concept to think, but he needs to love the Lord more than his wife. And she needs to love him more than husband. Because if it just stops with them and we jack up or mishandle or get on each other's nerves, where do you go from that?
Yeah.
You got to go somewhere higher to tap into something. When my patience runs out, I got to go someone that doesn't. When I need to love you through some tough moments, if it stops at you and you ain't lovable, man, where I'm tapping it to. Yeah. So at first I thought it was just trust and having a safe haven, but it was really her loving him, and he was downloading to her how to handle me. Yeah, and so I can tell her some struggles, some weaknesses, and the way she handled it, man, is the reason why I was like, yep.
And attractive as all get out, ain't it?
Sexy.
Man.
Yeah. No, that's dope.
They need to hear that.
That's
dope.
Sexy as hell.
Which so I guess what's crazy about that is maybe I do know because I feel like investment.
Same concept.
And yeah, that's why I say. So maybe I do know investing in me, bro. There was a time where I was dating, right, and it was just real small on the surface level, but it meant the world to me. I was talking, kicking it with her, and she was like, "No, you said this on your podcast, didn't you?" Oh, you was watching.
Oh, wow.
You invested. You took time out to actually invest in what. So yeah, I guess I would say investment then, and that's a small analogy, but
she tapped in.
Yeah, just in me, what I like, what I do, who I am, the who, what, why, the background, like that investment,
and that allows you to open up more.
Yeah, because it makes me want to be vulnerable because obviously you care enough to care enough.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, that's real.
Oh, your glasses is getting cleaner.
Yes, sir.
Hey man, I had great.
I'm just saying.
I
hear you.
Yeah, you know.
No, that's fine.
What's your?
I think my answer would be grace.
I received that.
Just giving grace. Just giving grace. Like I guess essentially allowing me to bump my head. That's just what it is. Allowing me just, you know what I mean? Being a man, and then also being a man converting from what society holds as a man. Where it's like I'm coming out of this thing where it's like I gotta be this way, I gotta be this way, I gotta be this way. Where it's like I'm gonna bump my head a lot. I just need you to show grace.
Yeah.
Don't throw it back in. That's exactly why it's like, okay.
Yeah, that's the.
You know what I mean?
Now I'm gonna be right back. I just going in the car. I'll be right back.
Grace is giving you what you don't deserve.
100%.
I just want to say that to the people that listen.
100%.
They like, great. I mean, I hear that word, but what the heck?
Yeah, 100%.
I'm
My boy real about them definitions.
You say that, man. I just be thinking like, man, thank God my wife give me grace. Dog.
No, that's dope.
Whole nother episode.
I'm gonna ask Keno first, just cause if there was a message, man, you can give to just a young man, bro, from whatever perspective, what would that be? Somebody right now that's just like, man, look, this shit hard, it's tough. Baby mama tripping, I can't see my kid. Job, this, that, whatever the issue is with that young man, man, what could you?
What would I say to that, man? So, so I'm gonna say, my children always tell me, Dad, when I ask you something, you always tell me what the Bible say. I want to hear what you say. I said, baby, I can't separate the two. I just can't do it. I can't. Now, if I was to jump outside myself and tell you something outside of what the word says, and I was wrong, then I'm held accountable for that. Then I'm man. So I can't do that. So, man, the message that I would give to that person, man, would be simply, man, who is it that is first and foremost in your life?
That's dope.
What is it that's first and foremost in your life? Is it that thing you striving for? Is it that woman that you trying to be with? Is it that car that you drive? Is it that crib that you live in? What is first and foremost in your life? And then from there, once we decide what that is, if it's not his relationship with the Lord first and foremost, then that is the jump off, man. I know it seemed like, man, this dude is always, but man, that's just where I'm at.
That's who you are, bro.
I can't separate the two.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
dope.
it would be, man, to analyze what it is that you put first, man. One of the first things I taught my son, who was like y'all age, which is hilarious, man. Jordan is, how old are you, B?
34.
Yeah, Jordan is 31, be 32. So my
Jordan out there raising chickens and all that kind of
yeah.
stuff.
Literally.
So,
He's
like,
doing the same. Literally.
I do that.
Literally.
So,
Literally.
man, I would say, you know, we would go through this thing like, dude, what's first? What is the most important thing in your life? The most important thing, man. I mean, from the time that he could repeat what I said, I made sure he understood that the Lord and his relationship with him needed to be first and foremost.
Yeah.
And then all those other things, man, just kind of fall in place, man.
Yeah, that's dope, bro. That's why, oh my God, man. That's why.
Man.
Cause that's just who you've been since I known you.
Appreciate you,
Even in Sunday school, man, you just break that thing down to a point where it's just like, oh, that's dope. I ain't okay. Why you use all them these days and die on what? Why niggas just ain't say that then? So I appreciate that. Jay, for you, man, the guy who is lacking a male's love, man, what would you say to him, man?
I'm sorry. Because it's a real thing. Yeah. And I know it's tough that what I'm about to ask them to do. But hopefully they hear me. Give them grace.
Yeah, that's dope.
Because if you're able to see things from them, let's go back to Crooklyn, how we opened this thing up. Mm-hmm. If we knew all the context of where the daddy came from, we might see some things a little different.
True.
And I realized even my father, when he was young, I thought he was not interested. He was an army man. Wasn't coming to none of my games. And when he'll show up, then he'll disappear. Until I had a conversation with my grandmother, who raised me, which my father was in the home.
The sweetest lady in the world, bro.
She told me and says, your daddy love you so much, but he can't watch you play ball because he don't want to see you get hurt. But the way I received it was,
nigga don't want to be here.
Tapped out. Mm-hmm. Until she told me he don't know how to be a father. Until we got older, when I went to college is when we started to. All right. So I'm saying this to say, first of all, I'm sorry. Give the men grace in your family. Forgive them, which has nothing to do with them. You don't even need them there to forgive them, right? It's your viewpoint. Here's the next thing.
That's a whole nother point. That's a great point about forgiveness.
Here's what I found out about men. They don't have to be in your family to be men in your life.
Yep. Yeah.
What the Lord does is he gives you stuff through different ways. So maybe you get manhood through this podcast. Man, I salute you. Get knowledge, wisdom from men that you see that you might not know everything, but you like, hey, I like the way they handle stuff. Yeah. Tap in. So maybe we are being men role models or real models is what I say in your life through the podcast, man. Tap into wherever you need to be. And I promise you, you stop looking at the negative and change your perspective, you might realize there are actually some men in your life, a teacher, a trainer, a coach that came through that was the same attributes, but you didn't know what manhood looked like, so you missed it anyway.
Yeah, that's dope.
But it was always there. So that's what I pray, that they realize that it didn't come the way they wanted to, and I'm sorry for that. However, you might have gotten your nutrition just from a different vendor.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah. That's dope. I appreciate that. D, man, for the guy that's like, man, bro, if I accept Christ, bro, nigga, I'm going to lose street cred. Nigga, I mean, he all right, but I'm the man out here too. What would you say to that guy, man?
Me personally, I always leaned into that title,
likewise,
of being a Christian or a follower of Christ.
Dope.
In my mind, you got beat up by the church boy.
Wow.
It's heavier.
Yeah.
Of being, he the street guy that everybody get beat up by. But you got beat up by the nigga that ain't gonna say the choir
took off his choir role.
In church shoes.
Or nigga, he kept it on.
nigga didn't even he ain't even a tenor. He an alto. Like, what? You got beat by an alto?
That took a minute. Yeah,
That nigga ain't even no tenor, bro. Like, wait a minute.
smacked you with
I
a
ain't fighting with no
tambourine.
soprano, nigga.
Smacked you with a tambourine.
Yeah, dog put his tambourine down and worked you. But no, I would say lean into that. I would say use that quote unquote street cred to draw people. You know what I mean? Hey, you know who I am here, and if I can go from this to that, bro, come on, man. You can too.
Yeah.
So use that. And also don't shy away from that upbringing. Again, we said this in the show where it's God used these different attributes of all these different people, your background and who you draw. It's who you draw. Like that's your crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wholeheartedly believe there are some people that won't see Christ simply because you were the voice that was supposed to say it and you never said it.
Yeah.
Like they that seed wasn't planted simply because you didn't say nothing. They can have 1,000 people. They can see reels. They can see all these videos. They can actually see a preacher preaching. But the fact that you didn't speak and do it, they miss it.
Yeah. Bar
And we see that biblically with Jonah, where it's, you don't think it was other people that God could have used? No, this is your assignment. You are called to these people. And that's your people.
Yeah.
And that people, them people won't see me, won't be delivered, won't be saved simply because you didn't speak up. So no, I say lean into your past, lean into who you are, lean into that side of you, and use it.
That's dope. Man, my message is simple, bro. It's to the guy who feels as if though the other guy is unreachable. I was a student that received love from somebody by being transparent and then develop a relationship and then being transparent first and didn't ask questions. I started talking. What I mean, man. Hey, man, to that guy you think that is untouchable, unreachable, just walk up to him, bro. Just ask him how you feel, how you doing. Check on his mental. I make the habit out of that now at work. I be asking guys, like, how your mental today? They be like, what? Yeah, nigga, how you doing? How's your mental state of mind today, bro, as a person? And then we able to kick it, and we can develop some type of rapport with each other. And then later on, before you know it, I'm like, yeah, man, bro, I had a shitty day yesterday, bro. I feel you. I ain't feel like being involved with nobody. Before you know it, he like, man, am I a girl? Now he talking. So to that guy, man, who feels as if though, to your point, like don't miss your assignment because you don't want to talk.
Yeah.
Just change the approach. Desire to talk without seeking their response. Just do all of the talking. Hey, what's up, bro? How you feel? What's going on with you? What's your name, man? What you doing? This, that, and the third. However your approach is. Because that's how I received it, and I use that keynote, bro, to this day, man. I try to be transparent with guys. Shout out to B. He was that for me too. Like, it's because of you, bro, that I take breaking bread serious.
That's huge.
Like, nigga, if we breaking bread, bro, it's serious, nigga. We ain't just eating just to be eating, bro. But that's how B walked me in. Like, you hungry, bro? Let's go eat. We ate before you know it. So now I do that. I try to do that with my kids now. I really want to just take a belt to dog. So put the shoes on, man. Let's go eat, bro.
Yes, sir.
Let's go eat, man. Me and D do that. Hey, let's go break bread, bro. So break bread with him. Ask him how he doing, man. And that's love. That's love at the bare minimum stage. That's the least you can do. But that's what we're here to do anyways, bro. I'm voice one.
Yeah, yo, I'm voice 2.
And y'all take care, bro. Be good. Easy.